learn how to interpret those signals of meaning. And then lastly, these cognitive systems, if they are going to affect us in terms of influencing the ideas that we create to inspire us, they have to be able to interact with us. Not exactly like how a human would, but with enough variety and diversity of influence that it causes us then to go away understanding a problem, understanding a set of information, understanding an idea better than we would have if we only had the text to represent that idea. And this, again, is an important property that we need to recognize, that when we interact with each other, as you're listening to me right now, it's not just my words that have meaning to you. It's not just the linguistics that I apply to that expression. But it's many other things that are also allowing you to do a better job of understanding what I mean, including my vocalization, right? Which includes my cadence and intonation and timbre that change the way that you understand those words, that changes the punctuation, that gives certain words in my expression more emphasis than others. But it's also my body language, right? It's my facial expressions. It's my arm movements, my hand gestures, my torsal relationships. You know, we did an experiment with the Hilton hotels putting a social robot as a concierge in their lobby. And of course, people would come up and ask a lot of different kinds of questions, but one of the questions they would often ask is, well, where is my room? Or where is the elevator? Or for me, where's the bar? And if the cognitive system came back with an answer like, well, the bar is, 10 feet down the hall, turn left past the potted plant, go up 4 flights of stairs, I might remember all those instructions on how to get to the bar. Getting there, I might not be able to remember coming back out. But it'd be much more informative and much more concise if simply the robot said, the bar is over there, and pointed to resolve the pointer word in the phrase, it's over there. It's over there. So there's an orchestration of experience that is both a textual, word-based experience, a vocalization experience, a physical and visual experience, but also a gesturing experience. And all the together is necessary to properly interact between humans and humans, but also in this case between humans and machines. And I'm not suggesting that everything's going to turn into a robot, that the robots will be the only form of interface that we have in the future, but it certainly changes sort of the two-dimensional experiences that we have been accustomed to for the last 70 years of modern computing. So let me start with a few myths that I think often come out. One is that there's a sense, I think, out there that Watson is this supercomputer, and you certainly see the media reflecting on this oftentimes, that somehow there's this massive brain in the sky that assimilates and accumulates all information and knowledge and tries to, make use of that, and then, come out with grand inspirational thoughts. And that's not true. Watson is in the cloud. It is all cloud-based, but it is instantiated uniquely for every occasion that we have for employing this cognitive capability. And in fact, in many cases, the solutions that we create don't employ just simply the cognitive services that I'll end up talking about, but they actually combine what we now think of as AI or augmented intelligence cognitive services, as well as more traditional forms of analytic, including the use of machine learning, but machine learning in more of a traditional use case around quantitative information, as well as other classic computing techniques that we're all familiar with. All those together are exploited for the purpose of creating a solution, because oftentimes the solution in the real world, the ones that mean anything and that are important to us, are not those that only deal with sort of the human forms of experience, or human forms of communication. Our written language, for example, they actually involve many different dimensions of information and how that then is applied to those problems. We do provide a set of services, and in fact, one of the things that has occurred over the last 5 years or 6 years now that we've been in commercial development of the Watson cognitive capabilities is to move away from only delivering around specific solutions. You may be familiar with the work that we did with Memorial Sloan Kettering, or some of the things that have been in the news more recently with MD Anderson, both of which were about creating a solution that offered to doctors choices about treatments that were uniquely tailored to the individual patients that they have based on the very latest sources of medical evidence that would reinforce why each of those treatments may be more appropriate than others. That is a solution, and that's the kind of thing that we did in the first couple of years of deploying Watson's commercial offering. But by about 2013 or 2014, it was becoming quite apparent that this thing that we now call cognitive computing was bigger than us. And of course, in many respects, it always has been. AI has been around for a long time. There's been a lot of academic work in evolving and refining the technologies of artificial intelligence. But of course, at the same time, there's other things starting to show up in the market, like Siri, like Google Voice, like other things that were employing some of these same techniques. And that's when we realized that rather than trying to only deliver this as a set of solutions, it would probably be better to open it up and let other people create their own solutions using the underlying building blocks of Watson's foundational cognitive skills. And so we pivoted towards focusing instead on those building blocks and making them available as services with APIs in the cloud for anybody to use. And of course, anybody can do that today. We've had lots and lots of people creating not only new applications and solutions, but in fact creating whole new businesses. We've had about 500 startup companies form around their use of these Watson Cognitive Services that have enabled them to do things and serve their markets and client needs in ways that we could never have gotten around to, and some of them don't have the bandwidth for, nor do we have the expertise in those domains. But more importantly, people who go out and create capabilities like that, that create solutions, have a certain passion for their marketplace that is an essential ingredient to being successful in any kind of business venture. So by focusing on those services that enable people to do things that we couldn't even hardly imagine, and I expect that that's going to be the case for many years to come, that these things will continue to advance primarily by the imagination that other people bring to the table in creating solutions using these technologies to advantage their markets or their consumers or their client base. I do organize these services around the three main elements that you see here in the middle of the picture, what I call foundational cognitive skills, higher reasoning skills, and knowledge organization skills. And that model was drawn largely from work that Daniel Kahneman did around System 1 and System 2. If you've ever read his book on the Fast and Slow Mind, or if you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it, it's very informative about how we sort of can categorize our own human cognitive capabilities between sort of the subconscious and the conscious forms of reasoning that we have. Following that same model and the spirit that those things represent, we've also kind of organized our services that way too, around those kinds of foundational cognitive skills that represent recognition,